Can I ask you one quick tongue-in-cheek question? Do you have any suggestions for the Patriots enhancing their first half performance?
Guys, you got to get out there early, right? Although it's hard to complain, right? It's hard to complain.
I'm not complaining.
I know.
More importantly, in your values that you speak, we all feel it, we are with you. How do you translate those values into action in Washington in a climate that is as uncivilized as I've seen in my short lifetime? I'd like to see your values in place, and how do you go about doing that in this climate?
So I think this is a great question, and this is the question for me that's really kind of at the core of the whole campaign. You know, I'm going to reframe your question. Different way you could ask this question is you could say, explain to me why it is you want a job being the 100th least senior person in a dysfunctional body that works on seniority and is nasty to boot, right? Did I just about get the heart of the question? Good, okay. Just so long as we're sure on this. So this is how I see this. I think we have to think about, again, what it means to be in the United States Senate, what it means to be in public service. And for me, what this is about is not about, give me a chance to go to Washington and I'll go behind closed doors and I'll make deals and I'll tell you they were for you. That's how Washington is working right now, and that means it's really not working. But don't get me wrong here. Washington is working for somebody. It's just not working for you. Washington. Are we right on that? Washington is working right now for those who can hire an army of lobbyists. It's working right now for those who can hire an army of lawyers. It's working right now for those who do really well with complex tax statutes that give you those tiny little loopholes that you can slip through and protect another $20 million of income or $40 million of income. It's working just fine behind closed doors for them. It's just not working for us. It's not working for the rest of America. The only reason I got in this race is to make a difference for middle-class families, to make a difference for working families, to create opportunity for any family that's trying to get into the middle class. So how does that happen? It happens with folks like Frank and folks like the people in this room. I am a novice to running for office, but I have done one campaign in my life, and that was a campaign to get a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Yes. But here's what I learned in that campaign. It was 2008, they're passing TARP, putting $700 billion out there to be able to pump into the largest financial institutions. But for me, what really is going to matter is what are the rules going to look like coming out on the other side. This is like the time of the Great Depression. What set of rules will we write coming out on the other side? That's what really matters here. So everyone's talking about capital reserve requirements and swaps and derivatives. No one is talking about what happened down at the household level. We broke this economy. They broke this economy one lousy mortgage at a time. And that's right. And if we didn't have a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or something like it, someone who cared, some real reform at the household level, then it didn't matter because they'd break it again in another 10 years. Maybe next time it would be over credit cards or the next time over student loans. They'd break it again and they'd break it again and they'd break it again. And so I said, we're going to have to do something about it. I went around and talked to a lot of people, including a lot of our friends. You know what they told me? They all told me two things. The first thing was, that is a great idea. Consumer agency, you pull it all together, you take these 18 federal statutes, you give it to one agency that really has some expertise, that really cares about it. Great idea. And the second answer was, don't do it. And the reason they said don't do it is you will be up against the largest lobbying force ever assembled on the face of God's green earth. And they will see to it that you fail, that you walk away with nothing, because the lobbyists are the ones who call the shots here. You will lose. So my view on that, you know how I hear this? I heard that as, try harder. This is what a novice does. You don't get what this is supposed to be about. So I said, okay. And they told me, they said, try for little things. This was exactly the advice, right? Just the same question about what you do as a senator. Ask for something little. So you're a smart gal, hang out, talk to them, ask for a little amendment around the margins, 6 more words added here, and part C added down here. And you might get a little twist here that would help a few people, a little twist over there to help a few more people. And I said, no. You have to fight for something that's worth fighting for. And the only way I knew to do that was straight up the middle. And the only way I knew to make it work was you got people organized. You made it work from the grassroots. So I said, how do we get people organized for this consumer agency? I talked to a friend of mine, and he said, well, you get them organized. We get some groups. So I said, okay. We did our first conference call. First conference call had 2 people on it, which I think does not qualify as a conference call. But the next one had 10, and then it goes to 20, and it goes to 50, and it goes to 100. We got groups involved. I want to say, God bless the AFL-CIO. They got out there and said, we'll be part of this. SEIU said, we will be part of this. I'll tell you who else did. AARP said, I will be part of this. Consumers Union, wow. They said, we do toasters, we can do mortgages, we're there. These groups got involved. They were willing to email all of their members, and that's how we did it. We spent almost no money, but we got organized. Grassroots, person-to-person, email, across the Commonwealth and across the country. And that's how I see this moment. This is our moment in history. I'm running for the United States Senate, but I am not asking you, vote for me because I'm just going to be great at this, and I'm going to go off to Washington, and I'm going to do 6 things on your behalf, and I'll send you a postcard and let you know how that worked out. I am running because I see the urgency of this moment.
We see it too.
Yes, and because Frank sees the urgency of this moment. When Frank is around, I know I am not alone in this. But this is the key, and this is, I'm giving a long answer to this, but I think it really is the heart. I see running for office as saying, we are going to take back our country. We are going to build opportunity. We are going to build a future. We're going to set our priorities, and we're going to make this happen. Change starts here. It starts every time you get out right now and you talk about the choice in this upcoming election. It starts every time you talk to someone in line at the grocery store, you get in touch with a neighbor, you talk to someone on your email list, you mention it when you're at a soccer game with your kids, and you say, here's the choice in front of our country. We can become a country that says, I got mine and the rest of you are on your own. Or we can become a country, again, that believes in opportunity, that says we're willing to make the sacrifices to invest in our future. But the only way this happens is if all of us are in this together. It is a grassroots campaign, and it starts now, it goes through the election, and it, don't kid yourself, you don't get to quit then. And it goes right on after the election and pushes up what we do in Washington. So that's got to be the answer. That's got to be the answer. Thank you. It's the right question. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.